What a change in the character of Habakkuk we discover as we come into chapter number 2. At the very beginning of chapter 1, we remind ourselves that his faith was puzzled. He was asking himself the question, God, were you actually there? And were you listening to anything that I was saying? And are you able or are you unable to do anything about the present situation in Israel? Can you not change the tide and bring about revival and bring your people back into the path that they should walk in? Because they're an embarrassment to you and to your name. God had shown them that Babylon was going to come and he was going to use Babylon to bring about swift justice and he was going to send them into captivity. Habakkuk couldn't believe this was the answer to his praying. He couldn't understand what was going to happen and why this would be the way that God would choose to use and why he would work in this fashion. But then he began to think about the characteristics of God and who he is, and he set himself aright as he focused upon God and his personality. And then from verse 13 to the end of the chapter, we read about those pictures of what Babylon was like. How they were going to come in, it was almost like fishing to them as they would sweep away the nation, indiscriminately taking men, women, and children, slaughtering people all around and not really care or no concern. They were going to offer sacrifices, that were, to their net. They were going to worship their false gods, thinking it was their gods who gave them the victory. That was the scene in chapter 1. But now, as we come into chapter 2, we discover that Habakkuk, in his faith, he's patient. He's patiently going to wait and to watch what God is going to do in this situation. Habakkuk 2, verse number 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Really, what Habakkuk is saying, I'm going to go up into my watchtower and I'm going to get a very different perspective upon this situation, upon the things that I've been praying for, and the circumstance I see within my nation. And sometimes in life, whenever it comes to our prayer lives, we too need to go up into that watchtower just to get a different perspective upon our situations and be patient. Patiently watch and patiently wait and patiently listen for God. Whenever it comes to reading His Word, don't come with preconceived ideas and notions. Don't come with a list of demands and things you want to hear from heaven about and expect to read them in God's Word. No, come to His Word with freshness and let Him speak to you. Let Him reveal to you the truths that He wants to show you. It might not be things which relate to your current predicaments, about your current prayer life, but God will show you great and wonderful truths which will magnify His name, which will set your hope in Him, and it will help you to depend and to trust in Him and be patient as you watch and as you wait for the outworking of His will in your life.